Hello, Russian beatbox community. This is Jflo. I'm just gonna make a video for you guys, and hopefully, maybe you guys can edit some of the stuff out because I'm just going to read the questions and try to answer them so I can make things more fluent. Because to be honest, I don't want to sound like a robot. I am a robot. Anyway. What is my name? Well, my name technically is Jonathan Eliu Lopez Martinez. And I have two last names because I was originally born in Mexico. But I go by the artist name of Jflo. That's Jflo. How old I am? I am 25 years of age at this current moment. I don't want to get any older. How did I start beatboxing? Well, I started beatboxing when I was around 14 years of age. And basically how it started was I used to play MIDI keyboard, piano, whatever. And I used to use software like Fruity Loops 2, Fruity Loops 3. Very early stages of Fruity Loops when it first came out. And I was constantly doing audio production, and when I was a kid I used to do it so constantly, sit on my computer, do audio production all the time, that eventually when I went to school all I wanted to do was go home and make more audio production, make more instrumentals, make more beats. And because I had this obsession to make music on the computer, I was constantly thinking in my head how to make beats. And originally I just started beatboxing without knowing anything of it because I was just imitating what I was hearing and trying to portray what I was listening to. So that's how I technically started beatboxing. How did I discover beatboxing? Well, I guess I discovered beatboxing once I was doing it and didn't know anything about it. I went to a high school talent show and I saw somebody beatbox for the talent show, and they did the Snoop Dogg Drop It Like It's Hot cover, which is very simple. But at the time, it got me very curious because I was like, how is he doing this many noises at once? You know, I was probably like 16 or so, and I was like, there's something there. And that's how I discovered beatboxing, because that original curiosity is what put me into YouTube, into researching what the whole thing was. What inspired me? Well, I tell you what inspired me. I did become obsessed watching competitions and watching professional beatboxers. But the thing was that when I watched other beatboxers that were professional, I heard a lot of instrumentals and beats, and what inspired me was that when I sat on a computer and did audio production, it would take me hours upon weeks, maybe months, to make one single track. And I didn't want to spend hours and months and days and whatever amount of time it takes to make an instrumental track. I didn't want to spend that much time in it. I knew what I was thinking in my head, and I wanted to portray those things that I was thinking in my head. So what it clicked in my head was beatboxing could be a great way for me to portray that, because to me beatboxing is like speaking. Just as I'm talking in this interview, I am saying what I'm thinking, and there's no slow process. So that means that when you beatbox, it literally is language, so you can say whatever you want and portray whatever you want and just spit it out, whatever it is you're thinking of. Did I know it will be meaningful to my life? I did not know it would be meaningful to my life. No, I had no idea. It was just, you just go, and especially when you're younger, you kind of just do things and you do what you like, and that's it. What did my family think when I started beatboxing? Well, I'll tell you what, my parents, they were not too fond of it. They were like, "What are you doing? You know, you should be working and going to school. What are you doing, spending all these hours practicing in your room?" They just didn't care, really. So what do I think is hard when nobody helps you how to beatbox? I think it's hard. I think it's hard when nobody teaches you how to beatbox because you kind of have to learn on your own. But for me, it was all about dedication and practice and imitating. Just like any other instrument, it's going to take a lot of hours of practice and dedication to master something. It doesn't matter what it is. You need passion, you need dedication, you need time, and you need practice. And if you put your mind to it, you can do anything you want to do. So it's just those things, really. I mean, just like any other instrument or anything you want to do, if you put those things into perspective, and I think you put the time and practice and dedication and passion, make sure you have passion and heart for it, then you're just gonna get better. Because the thing is, like, if you have no passion and heart, you might get stuck. But if you have a lot of passion, you eventually find your ways to be creative and the ways to push yourself and the ways to move forward. How do I prepare for battles? Well, to be honest, I prepare by relaxing. Because, well, relax maybe like a day or two before the battle, because to be honest, it's really stressful. You know, it's like, well, for me, it's kind of stressful because, you know, something that you're passionate about, something that you want to achieve, and it's something that's meaningful to your life. So if you're not spending the time trying to calm down and relax and just enjoying yourself, you might find yourself to be a bit on the side where you're more stressed. So don't do that. You know, I would say relax a day or two before the competition. But before that, I prepare by obviously trying to make routines. I also set a timer for myself, because when you showcase a beatbox or when you battle a beatbox, you have to kind of become aware of how long your time stretch is. And if you do it constantly enough in the practice way, it will just come natural to you how long a round is. And when a round, you can figure out how long a round is, you can figure out your routines, and you can figure out how to juggle things in between. Because you don't, for me personally, I like to improvise, so I don't like to have a full 1 minute and 30 routine for a battle. For me, it's like I have pieces and different pieces of different beats of different routines that I have, and I'm able to sort of take whatever idea it is that I have and whatever it is that I need as a response, or whatever it is that I'm feeling, and put it into perspective for that 1 minute and 30. And then with that natural feeling of how long it is, as long as you focus, then you have a more close understanding as to how long the rounds is. That's one way to practice for the rounds. Another way I practice is with listening to music. Believe it or not, if you're feeding your mind, well, this is what I think because it works for me. I think if you feed your mind music, and sometimes I take days off from beatboxing and just feed your mind some music, eventually your mind becomes with some new ideas in your subconscious. So I feel like if you stop and you just enjoy and then you listen to music, when you come back to practicing, you might actually come up with some new creative. Don't take it too serious all the time. Another way I prepare is I like to feel like my mind, my body, and my spirit are all on the same level. So if I feel like one is off, I try to work on one. they all have to be on the same level. If I feel good spiritually, I'm going to be happy. If I feel good physically, I'm going to be happy. If I'm good mentally, therefore, I'm going to be more focused. And I feel like all these things will apply to how you're feeling in a battle, how you feel about yourself, and how you portray yourself. So it is very important for me to just feel good in all different ways. You know, it's not just beatboxing. It's literally everything. What motivates me? Well, what motivates me, I guess, would be to be an artist. And what I mean by that is, there's many different ways to be an artist, really. But to me, I like to inspire people. I like to share things, and I like to just feel. I like to improvise. If I can improvise, feel, and motivate other people, then I'm happy. I feel like in that way I'm being an artist. But also what motivates me is trying to make a living doing what I like to do, because nobody wants to confirm in this life. Do I have any idols? I don't know. I mean, I definitely have a lot of people who have inspired me for many different things. Even my art is an inspiration by some of Reap's One, but it's also by street art. It's also an inspiration from Monkey, the beatboxer. And music, a lot of people inspire me. I mean, I like everything from classical music to composers to jazz musicians to electronic music and classic rock. I mean, I like a lot of things, and if I feel your music and I like it, I get inspired, and other musicians also inspire me. Was it hard to become a champion? To be honest, actually, yeah, it was. I guess it was kind of hard to become a champion. I mean, the thing was that for me, this was 2011, so I was 21 years old, and before that, like the 2010 championships, I didn't even enter, and I was just starting to get sort of good at beatboxing, and for me, it was kind of like a whole life experience where I pushed myself to try and follow my dreams and put myself out there. I used to perform a lot of underground electronic raves and things like that, and even just hitting up some bars. And to me, it was just like a whole life experience, and I think that whole life experience led up to my championship where I won in 2011. So when I think of it in that sense, on like a sequence of events of my life that led me to that position, I think it was a lot of dedication and a lot of work. When it comes to the actual event in 2011, I literally just went for it, and I wasn't even thinking, and I was just feeling. That battle, it was just purely feeling for me. I had no routines, nothing. It was just it was just like, let's see what happens here, and it happened. And so obviously I did want to win before entering, and obviously it was one of my dreams as well. So yeah, I could say it's both. It was hard work, but it was also a lot of fun. Do I know any Russian beatboxers? Well, yeah, of course. I know Bathang. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Bathang or Bathang. Great singer and doper. Obviously, I know Master Mike because his stuff became viral on YouTube, and then he's making some good stuff. I feel like on the live production, which is what I like to do as well. So I'll give him some props because he's putting himself out there and he's working hard. Obviously, I know also the Mad Twins, and I think that might be it for Russian beatboxers that I know. I try to follow the scene on Swiss Beatbox, and I try to follow all the beatbox battles. So if I miss someone, I'm sorry. But yeah, I think those are the Russian beatboxers I know. What do I know about Russian beatboxers? I don't really know much. I mean, I'm in the other side of the world. I'm in the US. So it's hard for me to say exactly what it is that I know about them, especially since I've never been to Russia or ever met a Russian beatboxer. But I love you guys because much respect to you guys, to any beatbox community, and I think that's about it.